My name is Brian Pettey. I'm a car fanatic. A lot of guys, a lot of women out there love cars, but I'm definitely one of those that's extremely passionate. You know, everybody has that friend that's kind of, they like cars, or they say they love cars, but with me, I don't want to call it a sickness, but it's definitely, it has become an issue sometimes. When my wife and I, she knew kind of that I loved cars, but she really had no idea. But the good thing is that, she loves cars as well. And then my son, who's now, he's 12 years old now, and that bug has certainly, or that gene has definitely passed down to him. And it is a little scary because he knows more about cars at 12 than I did probably a couple years ago. So anyway, it is definitely passed down to him. I started out with, as a lot of business owners as well, they go through struggling times, and I can remember when I had a negative balance in my checking account. And so I started out with virtually nothing. I think I had, negative $4, and it would sway around the zero all the time. But struggling through getting a business going. But I wanted to do something all the time with cars, whatever it was. I was constantly drawing cars. I wanted to be a car designer. But I loved robotics, and I loved building things and doing things with my hands. And that's what kind of led me here. And I always knew if I went on the business side of things, I could maybe afford cars later. That's kind of how I got started. Started in the business world, building things, and eventually got into building robotic components and robotic devices. And that is fortunately allowed me to really get involved with cars. It's kind of a transition from designing parts on all day long sitting in front of a computer, but now I get to come home and put a car up on a lift and start working and get my hands greasy again like I used to. And that's where I'm at today. So I have a car collection. Obviously, I love cars, but bringing a car in on a Saturday and working on it by yourself, I love doing that, don't get me wrong, but what I love most about at least my cars and just cars in general is just being around different people. Especially people like myself that have a true passion for cars. I love anything with an engine in it, especially if I can get on and ride it. Oh my gosh, that's what gets me going. And so, I have cars, and I love to share them with my friends. And anybody that stops by, literally a neighbor will stop by, they come in, we end up talking to cars for hours, even if they're not, totally in love with cars or do something with cars. There's always that connection there with something, or even a past or experience they had growing up, or they knew somebody that loved cars. They'll bring that, and we'll start talking cars, and before you know it, 4 or 5 hours have gone by. So I tend to kind of pull people into my passion to some extent. And that's what it's all about. And so really what I'm going to end up doing is sharing all my cars with everybody. You guys out there, friends are going to be coming over. We're going to have a good time, kind of bring you into my space and what I do here. I do a little bit of everything. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a very good mechanic. There's very competent mechanics out there that can do things 10 times faster and 100 times better than I can do it. It literally takes me a lot of time to get stuff done, but I'm pretty particular. I like to work on my own cars myself. I love the engineering behind cars. Every car is so different. When you're working on a Nissan versus working on a Honda Civic versus working on a Porsche, they're all different, and I love to get my hands in to figure out, what were they thinking here? Why did they do this? Sometimes it's extremely frustrating, but I know now pretty much from continent to continent, how the engineers were thinking and why they did certain things, and I find that absolutely fascinating, not only from different manufacturers, but also from, you know, the various years and how things transition through the timeline of automobilia, I guess you'd say. So as far as what we're going to do here, we're going to have a good time. We're going to be driving cars, working on cars, messing around with cars, and probably breaking cars as well. I mean, I don't say I break cars, but you know, things always go wrong. Your guys are going to be a chance to see that. And I'm always trying new things. I also invent things for vehicles and automobiles. I license things out, some patents, some different things like that. And hopefully I'll get a chance to take you through that process and how I come up with ideas, whether it's toys or automotive products. It's going to be, hopefully for you guys, it's going to be a lot of fun, you know, and so you guys are just going to be basically hanging out with me and some friends and going on a little bit of an adventure. If you enjoy cars, you're probably going to enjoy this channel. We're going to do a variety of things, obviously automotive related. We're going to do some other things that might not be automotive related, toy related, slot cars, flying remote control airplanes, you name it, driving around the hills of Kansas, doing whatever. That's what I enjoy doing. I want to bring you guys along for that. So we're going to be driving some fun cars, a good variety of cars, everything from go-karts to a R32 to a Ford GT to a Honda Civic Si, all across the gamut. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun.